How Mark Zuckerberg's testimony to Congress may impact the changes to Facebook's small business advertising strategies. Hey guys, I'm Shama from Scaling Retail, and you guys have all been keeping up to date on what's happening in the news with Mark Zuckerberg's testimony about the implications of data mining and third-party analytics and APIs that are integrating into Facebook. And today I want to share with you a few key takeaways on how this might impact your fashion startup or your retail business. Now, we've all heard about the things that are happening with Russia, Cambridge Analytics, everything that's been going on in terms of data mining. And the most interesting things to keep in mind are, number one, all of the information that Facebook has accumulated through all of these other third-party service providers, all of that stuff will still be available under Facebook's wall, meaning all of the data that was mined in the past is going to be obviously available through any of those service providers that were using it before, but also it's going to be important to realize that Facebook will now likely be able to keep and use all of the data that they have stored in-house to kind of create more of a black wall for a lot of users. Meaning, from an advertising standpoint, small businesses, you will still be able to advertise on Facebook. However, the access to that information, where it's coming from, is likely all going to be held underneath a Facebook black window, right? We're not going to be able to see in, we're not going to know where they're getting the information from, and likely, guys, it's going to be a lot of stored information that was taken over the last years that Facebook had advertising integrations. So that is one thing to keep in mind. You'll still be able to do advertising, don't worry about that. Secondly, it's important to realize that these regulations may not just have impact on Facebook, but new regulations could then trickle down into impacts on Twitter and other social media platforms. Who knows what's going to happen to Pinterest, Snapchat, any of the other businesses out there that are using advertising as a primary source of revenue. Now, the third thing to keep in mind is when it comes to advertising, you might be noticing as Facebook is starting to make these changes that as you're doing targeting on Facebook, it might become a little bit more challenging or difficult. Some of the things that you might be used to targeting with on Facebook may no longer be available. As you go into audience insight tools and you start to build out new audience groups, you might find that some of those interest groups aren't available for you anymore. And so this might cause you to actually need to rethink kind of the structure of your new audience insight Facebook ads. And then the fourth point is the cost of advertising. So in the matter of a week, we've seen certain kinds of audience targeting and Facebook ads become increasingly more expensive. Now, is that because Facebook lost valuation based on what's happening with the testimony in Congress? Is it that, they're now concerned about having these different integrations be pulled away? But either way, all I can see is in the last few days, costs have been going up with otherwise ads that should have been clicking through at a lower cost per conversion. All right, guys, please keep your eyes posted on what the new developments are. We'll certainly be keeping you tuned in on immediate results and changes for your fashion business, your retail startup, and how advertising impacts that. I think it's very important as we look to build our businesses that we don't just rely on only one or two channels. So many retail companies have been launching and solely resting on, let's say, just Instagram as a primary channel or Facebook as a primary channel. But it's important that we take multi-pronged approaches to our advertising strategies, even if we are just digital e-commerce companies. That means taking a look at other strategies like your pop-up shops, your direct-to-consumer mailers, and lots of other ways in which you can get in front of your business. Get in front of your ideal customer. Now, lastly, and this is so important, is there should always be within your strategy 4 to 6 different ways in which your customers can get integrations with your company, can learn about your business. So as you start to rethink what those strategies are, make sure they're a combination of digital activations as well as in-person and market-based activations that get people to touch and feel your product and that you own the entire process. We've all been warned. You build your business based off of one channel, the algorithm changes to advertising happen, and all of a sudden you notice a decrease in your business. This isn't anything new. Instagram and Facebook have been changing algorithms every year. So is Google, right? They're making it a little bit more innovative. They're changing ways in which consumers and brands relate to each other. And so this is something that we should see kind of continue to happen over time. So again, guys, multi-pronged approach. Keep it active. Never let Facebook ads or any type of advertising just run ad nauseum without closely monitoring their performance and making sure that you pivot. I'll keep you posted. Have a great week. Talk to you soon. Bye.